Welcome back, Love Nation. This is Nina. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Thank you to everybody that has been coming to my channel. Like this video, share this video, and hit that notification bell so you guys know when I drop my next one. We are now going into part 7 of reading the Diddy Amendment with the other celebrities involved. And I'm going to say this. Form your own opinion about this lawsuit and what I am reading. I will read this in full. And also, I have to use coded words for YouTube. So please read along with me as I read this in YouTube code as we continue to read this incredibly crazy amended lawsuit. Again, this is Chapter 7. Like, share, subscribe. Plaintiff John Doe, who was left alone and unattended, was able to reach the stairs where he saw Plaintiff Ashley with the metallic object, looking as if she was about to put it into Defendant Diddy. And he yelled out, "Do it. Just put it in him." But he saw Ashley was hesitant. Plaintiff John Doe observed Defendant Diddy push Ashley down at the bottom of the stairs, and John Doe believed he assisted her up. Plaintiffs were briefly then reunited, and Plaintiff John Doe told Plaintiff Jane Doe now was their opportunity to escape. Following Plaintiff Ashley's, plaintiffs ran out the back gate onto the street and in the opposite direction of Ashley. Plaintiffs arrived at the house next door to the residence and banged on the door and yelled for help. The wife came out and said that she and her husband couldn't help. Plaintiff found the exchange bizarre and could not understand why they could not help or call 911. Plaintiffs were able to then try to hide until they saw an officer report to the location where they attempted to speak with the officer. Before plaintiffs were able to speak to the local officer, Defendant Pelletier appeared and obstructed plaintiffs from speaking to the responding officer, telling the responding officer a federal investigation was ongoing and not to interfere. Defendant Pelletier told the officer to turn off his body camera. Defendant Pelletier told the officer he was working on a case for a pharmaceutical ring and had the house under surveillance and would report later to the local precinct. Defendant Pelletier referred to plaintiff and Plaintiff Ashley as suspects and said they were homeless. When plaintiffs tried to refute these statements by Defendant Pelletier, they were threatened and told to shut up and remain quiet. Defendant Gonzalez then transports and removes plaintiffs from the interaction with Defendant Pelletier and the responding officer. Defendant Gonzalez placed plaintiffs in another vehicle, which was hard to see due to the darkness. Plaintiff Jane Doe pleaded with Defendant Gonzalez to let them go, and she would not tell. In a last-ditch effort, plaintiff told defendant she overheard defendants Jaguar, Wright, and Helena say they were not going to pay him and that there was not enough money for him. Unbeknownst to plaintiffs, defendants Jaguar and Helena were in a nearby vehicle. Defendant Gonzalez exited the vehicle and went to the vehicle with Defendant Jaguar and Helena and confronted them about what Plaintiff Jane Doe said. Defendant Gonzalez returned to the vehicle where plaintiffs were being held, seemingly confirming what Plaintiff Jane Doe said. Because plaintiffs heard him use the Spanish term, and excuse me, I'm not familiar with this, mayete, which is often used as a slur toward black people. Defendant Gonzalez then walked plaintiffs to a nearby street where the SUV was parked and gave plaintiffs the keys to the vehicle and released them. Plaintiffs then arrived at blanked out address, the main road that leads to I-24 freeway, and asked another commuter the nearest police station, as plaintiffs did not have any phones and their vehicle did not have GPS. They were given instructions, they were close, and how to proceed to the police station. Plaintiffs arrived at the police station at 22 Orinda Way in Orinda, California. Plaintiff John Doe walked in the police station with the intention of filing a police report, but remembered overhearing conversation from the defendants during their transport when defendants believed he could not hear them, that if plaintiffs ever reported the incident, they would be deemed crazy and non-believable. Plaintiff John Doe was also concerned about the exchange with the responding officer on the scene and how he refused to listen to his pleas then. Plaintiff John Doe then only briefly spoke to someone at the front desk about filing a report and took a business card. Now, I'm just going to pause there and say that if he took that business card, that definitely could be traceable if he kept it, because as, time go on, etc., that font, or if that particular business card could have been used at that police station, definitely could be traced. Also, this is probably getting into petty zone, but if somebody wants to say, like, for example, he printed that business card off a computer just to throw into this lawsuit, DNA is so advanced, if somebody at the police station that worked there at the time gave him a business card, I would not be surprised if trace DNA was not on that business card. And again, I'm just throwing that in there because this could be a DNA test looking at this filing for anyone that believes that this is seriously outlandish. A DNA test on that business card could be the only evidence that proves he was there and was handed it, that card, from someone that worked at that police station at that time, which can be found out through, payroll, clock in, clock out, which they have to keep on file. So if he has that business card from that police station, if they can trace that DNA or trace the font on that card or trace that person that gave him that card, that actually could be key evidence that this happened in this city. Let's continue. Next section. First cause of action, violations of 18 U.S.C. 1962C, 1964C, Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organization Act, RICO. Plaintiffs against all defendants. Plaintiffs incorporate by reference and reallege each of the preceding paragraphs and all the paragraphs below as though fully set forth and brought in cause of action. Defendants, as well as others known and unknown, are persons within the meaning of the section code we just discussed, 18 U.S.C., who conducted the affairs of the DIDDY, SA, and cover-up enterprise through a pattern of racketeering activity in violation of said section. The DIDDY, SA, and cover-up enterprise is an association, in fact, within the meaning of Section 18 U.S.C., consisting of 1. Defendants, including each of their employees and agents; 2. The DIDDY, SA, and cover-up enterprise participants, including but not limited to the defendants enumerated herein. As set forth above, the DIDDY, SA, and cover-up enterprise was designed and used as a tool to enable defendant DIDDY and Diddy S.A. and cover-up enterprise participants to participate in a pattern of racketeering activity. Section 1964C provides that any person injured in his business or property by reason of a violation of Section 1962 of this chapter may sue, therefore, in any appropriate United States District Court and shall recover threefold the damages he sustained and the cost of suit, including a reasonable attorney fee, according to said section. The Diddy S.A. and cover-up enterprise falls within the meaning of that section and consists of a group of persons associated together for the common purpose of 1. Endorsing and facilitating Diddy's S.H. and abuse of others, including plaintiff. 2. Threatening and misleading defendant Diddy's victims to prevent the reporting and disclosure or prosecution of his S.A. 3. Intervening in plaintiff's efforts to report by concealing and refusing to report defendant's Diddy's offenses to the appropriate authorities, including the law enforcement. Defendants have conducted and participated in the affairs of the Diddy S.A. and cover-up enterprise through a pattern of racketeering activity within the meaning of Section 18, which includes multiple instances of obtaining a victim for the purpose of committing or attempting to commit S.A. in violation of said section, as described above, and facilitating and financially benefiting from forced labor and traffic in violation of said section. In instances of transporting individuals, specifically plaintiffs, in the instant case for the purposes of furthering the common purpose of said Diddy S.A. and cover-up enterprise, including S.A., illicit photography and videography, and other immoral purposes in violation of said section, also known as the Mann Act. The Diddy S.A. and cover-up enterprise engaged in and affected interstate commerce, where defendants utilized phone lines to make arrangements for Diddy to further his illicit activities. Each participant in Diddy's S.A. and cover-up had a systematic linkage to each other participant through personal relationships and employment relationships, and functioned as a continuing unit for the purposes of furthering the scheme and their common purpose. Defendants on information and belief also use the internet and other electronic facilities to carry out the scheme and conceal the ongoing situations and activities taking place within Diddy's S.A. and cover-up enterprise. We will stop part 7 with this page, and we will come back shortly with part 8. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Thank you again for reading through this. Share your comments below respectfully. Subscribe to my channel. Donate if you can. And until next time, be safe and enjoy your day. Bye, guys.